Hey guys, it gives me a little bit of a headache to even consider this, but I think it's time to figure out better file management skills for my YouTube footage, because every time I go to film or edit, I'm faced with like memory full, can't do this, that memory's full, computer memory full, camera memory full. Like it's causing me significant trouble and stress and frustration. So today's the day. We're gonna learn how to manage files. And honestly, I think part of the issue here is that I don't know how to do it, and part of the issue here is that I feel ashamed and ridiculous that I don't know how to do it, so I haven't wanted to learn. Hi, Angel. Angel's ready to learn. You ready to learn? You ready to learn? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can remember how to record my screen so we can work through some stuff together on here. How to record screen on Mac. Command-Shift-5. Select recording area. Okay. Command-Shift-5. Record entire screen. Record. Okay. I think it's recording. I hope that I can find the file it records when it is finished. We're just gonna do our best. We're just gonna do our best. It is what it is. I don't even know where to start. So I guess we're gonna start with, maybe we need to make a list of questions. All right, I put this note so you can't see the stuff that's in my other notes, because there's things in there that no one needs to see. Questions about file storage for YouTube. Okay, these are the questions. Can I edit footage while the footage is stored on an external hard drive? That's not how you spell hard drive. Do I need to keep my raw footage after I edit videos? Do iMovie files, projects in progress, take up a lot of space on my computer? I'm like, we're still struggling here. I'm trying to think what I even need to know. It just feels like this like behemoth. Like, it feels like it's impossible for me to learn how to manage files in a way that doesn't stress me out constantly. How to edit video without overwhelming the memory/storage on my computer. What is the difference between memory and storage? How does overfilled storage impact RAM, memory, computer functioning? Okay. System for handling video footage without losing my entire goddamn mind. Okay, I think we're gonna start there, and if we come across more questions that need answers along the way, we'll add those to the mix. So the first thing is, and we're just gonna Google this. We're just gonna type it into good old Google. Can I edit footage while the footage is stored on an external hard drive? Can I edit footage while the footage is stored on an external hard drive? Oh, internet, don't you do this to me right now. Angel, I don't like computers. When I try to use them, I feel afraid. truly. Like deep in my bones, I feel fear when I try to understand how computers freaking work. Ooh, the internet's down. Let's play the dino game. How do I, oh, press space to play. Okay, let's see if I can win the dino game. No! Ooh, y'all, that was rough. Okay, let's see. We're gonna try again. We're gonna get a higher score this time. No! Ooh, that was pretty good though. 883. That was way better. Oh my god. Come on, internet. Let's freaking go. Y'all, I paid $50 a month for this internet, and it goes out, like, I swear to God, at least once a day. It goes out at least once a day. Why am I paying $50 a month for this absolute nonsense? This is another problem I have with computers, and another question I have. How do you get internet that isn't just like the biggest pain ever? The biggest pain ever. Oh my God. How am I supposed to appreciate the internet when it goes out whenever I need it for something? Okay, we're gonna try this dino game one more time. No. It can take away the dino game? You can tell I hate the internet because I named my internet network a necessary evil. That's how much I hate the freaking internet. I understand it's a contradiction to be like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber and also hate the internet. I understand that. I do. To be clear, I'm aware. But what can I say? I contain multitudes. Okay, let's see. Connect to my phone. Reload. Yes, okay. Yes, you can edit footage directly from an external hard drive. You see how my source here is AI overview? That's not a good source. Let's go read a better source. Let's go read something made by human beings. Okay, the top sources I'm given. AI overview, Reddit, a bunch of videos, which I don't want to watch a video, I want to read something, because watching a video in a video is fraught. And also, I learn by reading better a lot of the time. Like, I just want a quick answer. I don't want, like, a whole story. I like to watch videos. I like to read things to get quick information. Okay, this is a blog post that's from a company that sells the stuff, and I don't trust those to be good because I used to make a living writing blog posts for companies that were selling things in order to, like, bring website traffic to their company and generate sales. And let me tell you, the people who write those are getting paid by the word. It's a system that actively punishes you for doing your due diligence, because if you do your due diligence and properly understand and research, you will not make enough money to live. So, I mean, you do a little research, but not enough that I want to get my information from articles written that way. Okay, more YouTube. Quora, Apple support. This might be helpful. Let's see. AI! E. Okay. Okay, so here I've discovered it looks like you can edit when the footage is all sitting on an external hard drive. But now I have another question, which is, does my hard drive being formatted in, I think it's exFAT? exFAT or format for hard drives? Ah, it is! It's called exFAT, great, okay. But it's spelled like that. Okay. exFAT rather than, what is the Mac hard drive format? Apple file system, APFS. Rather than APFS causing me editing issues. I have my hard drive formatted in exFAT instead of in APFS because I also have like my personal photos library on there. Basically, so I'm filming on a iPhone SE that I bought in 2020, okay? Which is not an ideal camera, blah, 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 but it's what I have, and it's what we're using right now. And in order to start using it to film, I had to take all the photos off of it because almost the entire storage was full of photos. And so I put them on this SSD that I got from Walmart. And it's 2 terabytes, so I can put quite a bit of stuff on there. Anyway, I put them on the SSD, but I formatted it in exFAT because I just don't know for sure if I'll always have Mac computers, and I didn't want to lose access to those photos if I were to, like, something were to happen to my computer and I were to get a new one that was a Windows computer. Like, I don't want to be trapped into the Apple ecosystem in order to access my stuff, which maybe sounds crazy because that's kind of an extreme scenario. But I feel like extreme scenarios that are crazy have historically happened to me, like, more than is statistically sound and average. So I watch out for things like that at this point. Anyway, but I'm now wondering if having it formatted in exFAT rather than in APFS is causing me editing issues. Like, will it work slower with my Mac? Okay, can I edit footage while the footage is stored on an external hard drive? Answer, yes, I can. Sorting? No, don't sort my things. Okay. Not the computer trying to do stuff I do not want it to do. All the time. Do I need to keep raw footage after editing final videos for YouTube? Okay. See, I hate reading the AI overview, but like Google used to bring good stuff up to the top and it just like freaking doesn't anymore. Like everything at the top is nonsense. It's like AI overview, Reddit, a billion videos, Facebook, Quora, YTalk, like all that Google freaking shows is like little forums and AI and YouTube. And I know people out there have written like blog articles about questions like this and they don't come up in the search anymore. And they used to, and I liked that version better, but can I have it back? No, I cannot. Big corporations have changed the way the thing works and I have to abide by it. And I feel like I used to have a thing I liked, but it's not like a solid thing that I have. It just changes on me and it's gone. Like you can't hold on to your things. I liked old Google. This is stupid. This is stupid. Ooh. Okay. I think this comes down to personal preference. Personal preference. And I think for me, the answer is gonna end up having to be no, because I only have put together like 7 videos and I already have like 300 gigabytes of stuff on my, or almost 400 gigabytes of stuff on my SSD. Granted, some of that is my personal photos, but probably more than half of it is video footage. And also, I mean, it seems like one of the reasons people keep their raw footage is to like reuse B-roll clips and stuff like that. And frankly, a couple things are going on. I'm getting so much better at videos with each video that I make that I think I probably, as soon as there comes a need in the future for some sort of similar clip, rather just go film a new clip. In general, I kind of like the idea of each thing being its own self-contained original. Like I kind of, in my mind, I want to feel like I'm operating like an artist and not like a corporation. And the video quality is just not very good. And I aspire at some point to get a better camera and a better microphone and a better a lot of things. So I just feel like this raw footage by itself is not especially valuable to me once I've made the finished video. Like the finished video has all the parts in it that I thought were really worth seeing. And the footage quality itself is just not that high. So I think I'm gonna start deleting raw footage as soon as I'm confident with the finished final product and it's saved safely somewhere. So I'm gonna say personal preference, probably will start deleting for the sake of storage. My raw footage is not that valuable. Oop, that's not how we spell. Not that valuable to me at this time. Okay. Great. Do iMovie files take up a lot of space on my computer? Okay, instead of Googling this, let's go see if we can find out. Don't even mind that my entire computer is made of absolute and utter chaos and nonsense. iMovie. Okay, iMovie itself takes up 3.82 gigabytes of storage. I know there's a folder somewhere where you can see like the things that are stored in that app. Well, let's see. System settings, general, storage. You see, this is a problem. This is a problem. And it says my documents is like 1 billion storage, but I don't see any documents that should be 1 billion storage, so I'm confused where that's coming from. Let's see. Why is my documents folder taking up like 1 billion storage? Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in my trash. We can get rid of that. This is stuff I deleted yesterday. I just didn't empty the trash after. Okay. So if we go in documents. Yes, it is. It's my iMovie library. We answered it ourselves. iMovie library, 63.64 gigabytes of freaking storage. Eee! Okay, so I think that that answers my next question, which is, do I need to be deleting these iMovie projects after I finalize them? And I think the answer is firmly and resoundingly, absolutely yes. I'm making a nightmare of my life with these iMovie projects. They're taking up so much freaking space. Ooh, yikes. Okay, so yes. They are currently taking up 63.64 gigabytes of storage and also ruining my life. Yikes. Okay. Okay, so let's go see, at what point do I need to delete my iMovie files? At what point do I need to delete my iMovie files? See, I get trapped in this thing where I read the AI overview and I don't even want to read the AI overview. Like, I don't want AI to tell me things. I want people to tell me things. This is so frustrating for me. Okay. You know what? Yikes. Okay. So I think same time that I delete raw footage. So whenever I decide that my iMovie, or like that my video is done and I don't need the raw footage anymore, I'm also going to just start deleting the iMovie files. Although that seems like it might end up being complicated, because this blog post I was just reading was saying that if you delete it out of iMovie, it just stays in the iMovie library file somewhere. So that's great. I think the answer to this is actually pretty straightforward at this point. Keep stuff on the SSD, on the external SSD, delete raw footage and iMovie project once confident with video being finished. Don't start editing too many damn videos at the same time. Great. Okay. Is formatting my hard drive in exFAT over APFS going to cause me problems with editing in iMovie? I'm reading AI overview again. Okay, pause. How to block AI overview on Chrome. See this labs tab, settings, AI innovations. Nope, that's not what I want. Search engine. Where is the labs button? Google Chrome. Oh, here it is. I just had to use AI overview to learn how to turn off freaking AI overview. No, I do not want any AI anything. Nope, it doesn't say any way to turn it off. Can I block AI overview in Chrome? Oh, I can disable it by creating a custom search engine in settings. What even is that? Okay, down here in Reddit, it says I can try using DuckDuckGo to get rid of this. So let's go back in my settings where it says search engine and let's change it and use DuckDuckGo. Not me changing my Google Chrome search engine to not be freaking Google. How's it gonna do? How do you like that, Google? Is being undocumented a crime? Is being left-handed genetic? Is being in the US illegally a crime? Why are those the questions? Anyway, okay. Is using exFAT instead of APFS going to cause me problems with iMovie? No, no, no. Never show that. Okay, I can turn it off on DuckDuckGo. Let's go. Let's DuckDuckGo. Okay. See, this is over my head and not really answering the question I want an answer to. Okay, so it seems like the answer to this question down here is yes, it can be a problem, especially with any Apple specific libraries. Should be fine if I only put files and not libraries, / if I edit on the computer and simply store the files on the drive. Maybe revisit this later. Okay, so I think honestly the ideal solution to this exFAT versus APFS question situation is probably going to be to get a second SSD and keep one of them in exFAT and one of them in APFS. So I have one that's more efficient in the Apple ecosystem and one where I keep the stuff I really wouldn't want to lose as like an additional backup. I don't think it would be bad to keep stuff I really don't want to lose on more than one hard drive anyway. Have like two, have a backup. But these cost like $100 and something, and I will say the money is tight and extra hard drives is not my financial priority at this moment. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but at some point in the future, maybe I will. Okay, Why can Document still take up a billion storage? We answered that. iMovie libraries. Yikes. Okay. I think handling video footage without losing my entire goddamn mind is going to be a matter of delete when finished. Delete raw footage and iMovie files when finished. With the video, keep footage on external drive, empty phone/computer frequently. Okay, that's the plan. This is my plan. I don't know if it's like a really streamlined plan, but it's the current freaking plan. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What is the difference between memory storage? How does overfilled storage impact RAM? Okay. What is the difference between memory and storage on a computer? The reason I have Chrome specifically is in order to block YouTube Shorts in my YouTube window, because I will spend my whole life watching YouTube Shorts and I do not gain anything from that. It's just like hours of my life that don't exist, and that seems like a waste given we get a limited number of hours on this earth. If I could find a way to block YouTube Shorts on a different browser, I'm not partial to Google Chrome. RAM versus storage. Okay, let's see how much RAM I have. Got this Mac. 16 gigabytes of RAM. Might have to edit out my serial number though. Okay. Okay. So it seems like computer can use SSD as, we'll say, internal SSD as virtual memory to compensate for not enough RAM. That would mean if it's too full, that's bad. I'm not a bot, I promise. Thank you. Okay. Why having full storage make my computer not work well? Okay, we have answered our questions. So essentially with the storage versus RAM thing, the RAM is mostly the memory that the computer is using to do things quickly, like to open apps, to answer requests, that kind of stuff. But in order to function properly, the computer does still need to read and write from the storage, which is like what's on your hard drive. And if it can't, then, or like if the hard drive is too full, it can either take a very long time or just like be impossible for the computer to do certain tasks. And for some reason it seems like, I don't really understand why. There's not like guardrails in place a ton to keep this from happening if you don't know what you're doing. It just causes problems, and then if you bring it to tech people, they act like you're dumb. Which is interesting. That is kind of an abrupt ending. So I thought I would come on here. I'm editing today, it's 2 weeks later, and wrap this up a little bit. So honestly, that wasn't the end, which is why it feels so abrupt. There is more footage I filmed where I go and spend like an agonizing half an hour trying to figure out how to delete the iMovie files that are taking up all that memory or all that storage. And I do figure it out. I'm pretty sure something goes wrong with the screen capture, so only part of it's on screen capture. And like the moment where I actually figure it out isn't on the screen capture. It's a hot mess. And honestly, this video has been kind of vulnerable to make and kind of just like frustrating to edit because I am so like embarrassed and ashamed and insecure about my computer skills. And also, I've never edited like me in a little box in the corner over the top of like the screen type of editing before. And it's been more time consuming than other videos I've edited. And the whole time I've just had to watch myself say dumb things about computers. And I just don't want to anymore. Like, I've reached the end of this part of the video and I think I'm just gonna call that it because I don't want to look at this anymore. I also, honestly, I'm getting kind of bored of it, and I think if I'm getting bored of it, y'all are probably bored of it at this point too. So if anyone seriously wants to see what I did to figure out how to delete those iMovie files, let me know. I might be amenable to making a part 2 with that footage, but do know that it's like a hot mess. And otherwise, I think I'm just gonna let that footage get buried and not worry about it. There was honestly a point where I considered just not even releasing this video, not editing it, just letting it go, because I do feel very vulnerable releasing like just how frustrating and arduous it is for me to get anything to work right on a computer. But I think it's easy for us to believe that anyone who's good at something like was born good at it. And I aspire to get good at computer skills. And I think it'll be fun for me and for anyone who's following my computer skills journey to be able to look back and see how it was going right now in April of 2026. So I am gonna release this video even though it's kind of been a hot mess all the way through, but I think that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes sometimes, and I think I want to acknowledge that. So that's where we are. If anybody really wants to see that part 2, let me know. But other than that, I'm gonna finish putting this together and I will see you in the next one. Bye.